we were in South Carolina, and I was in my trailer, and I said, "Hey, Bob's going to come by and talk to you." And if Bob, the director, is going to come by and talk to you on day two, that could mean anything. I see what you're trying to do here. I know you're nervous.
Tom Hanks has established himself as a revered figure in Hollywood, and his son's recent remarks on him have sparked widespread curiosity. When his son was asked what Tom Hanks was truly up to, he would reveal what we all suspected all along. His nuanced response has only intensified speculation about his true persona. Tom Hanks's son, Chet Hanks, has finally revealed what we thought all along. Before we reveal Hanks' son's intriguing comments, let's explore the man's life and see who he truly is. Early life and career. Hanks was born on July 9, 1956, in Concord, California, to Janet Marilyn, who worked at a hospital, and Amos Bud Hanks, a cook who traveled frequently. His mother came from a Portuguese family with the original surname Fraga, while his father had English roots. Interestingly, Hanks is distantly related to President Abraham Lincoln and children's host Fred Rogers through his father's lineage, both of whom he later portrayed in movies. After his parents' divorce in 1960, Hanks and his siblings were split up, with the three oldest going with their father and the youngest staying with their mother in Red Bluff, California. Growing up, Hanks's family moved frequently, experiencing 10 different homes by the time he was 10 years old. Despite his family's Catholic and Mormon background, Hanks converted to Greek Orthodox Christianity as an adult following his marriage to Rita Wilson. During his time in school, Tom Hanks was often seen carrying a Bible and was known as a devout evangelical. Despite his strong religious beliefs, he struggled to fit in with his peers and teachers, feeling like an outcast and admitting to being painfully shy. However, he found solace in his quick wit and humor, often providing comic relief during film screenings. Despite his nerdy and misfit persona, Hanks was always well-behaved and responsible, never getting into trouble. Despite his struggles with social interactions, Hanks found his place in school productions like South Pacific at Skyline High School in Oakland, California. Through his involvement in these productions, he was able to showcase his talents and passion for acting, setting the stage for his future success in the entertainment industry. Growing up in the Bay Area provided Hanks with a unique and memorable childhood experience that shaped his love for movies. Some of his fondest memories revolve around watching films at the historic Alameda Theater, where he was first introduced to the magic of cinema. As he grew older, Hanks decided to pursue his passion for acting by studying theater at Chabot College in Hayward, California. After 2 years, he transferred to California State University, Sacramento, to further hone his craft. In a light-hearted interview with sportscaster Bob Costas in 2001, Hanks was posed with the hypothetical question of whether he would rather win an Oscar or a Heisman Trophy. His witty response, in which he joked about playing halfback for the California Golden Bears to win the Heisman, showcased his playful and humorous personality. This anecdote provided a glimpse into Hanks's quick wit and ability to entertain audiences both on and off the screen. Reflecting on his early days as a budding actor, Hanks shared in a 1986 interview with New York Magazine about his time spent in acting classes. He described the classroom as a place where he could fully embrace his loud and flamboyant nature, finding a sense of belonging and purpose in the world of theater. Immersing himself in performances by acclaimed playwrights such as Brecht, Tennessee Williams, and Ibsen, Hanks found inspiration and enrichment in the art of acting. His dedication to attending plays alone, reading through programs, and absorbing the nuances of each performance highlighted his deep appreciation for the craft and his commitment to honing his skills as an actor. During his time studying theater, Tom Hanks had the opportunity to work closely with Vincent Dowling, the esteemed director of the Great Lakes Theater Festival in Cleveland, Ohio. Thanks to Dowling's recommendation, Hanks embarked on an internship at the festival, a decision that would shape his future in the world of theater. What started as a simple internship soon blossomed into a 3-year commitment, during which Hanks delved deep into the inner workings of theater production. From mastering the intricacies of lighting to understanding the art of set design and the importance of stage management, Hanks gained invaluable hands-on experience that would prove to be instrumental in his career. As fate would have it, Hanks's dedication and talent caught the attention of the theater community, culminating in his receiving the prestigious Cleveland Critics Circle Award for Best Actor in 1978. His portrayal of Proteus in Shakespeare's The Two Gentlemen of Verona showcased his versatility as an actor, as he took on the challenging role of a villain with aplomb. This recognition not only solidified Hanks's reputation as a talented actor, but also served as a testament to his commitment to his craft. Despite his success in the theater world, Hanks made the bold decision to leave college, a move that would ultimately set him on the path to becoming one of Hollywood's most beloved actors. In a surprising turn of events, Time magazine recognized Hanks as one of the top 10 college dropouts in 2010, highlighting his unconventional journey to success. Hanks's time at the Great Lakes Theater Festival was not just a stepping stone in his career, but a transformative experience that will affect his next step in life. Hanks' movie career. In 1979, Tom Hanks made the bold decision to relocate to the bustling city of New York. It was in this new environment that he took his first steps into the world of film, landing a role in the low-budget slasher flick He Knows You're Alone in 1980. Not one to shy away from a challenge, Hanks also secured a starring role in the television movie Mazes and Monsters in 1982. However, it was his role as Callimaco in the Riverside Shakespeare Company's production of Niccolo Machiavelli's The Mandrake that truly showcased his talent and passion for acting. Under the direction of Daniel Southern, Hanks breathed life into the character and captivated audiences with his performance. Early that year, Tom Hanks was thrilled to be cast as the lead role of Callimaco in the Riverside Shakespeare Company's production of Niccolo Machiavelli's The Mandrake. Directed by Daniel Southern, the play provided Hanks with a challenging and rewarding opportunity to showcase his acting talents on stage. The following year, Hanks was fortunate enough to land one of the lead roles on the ABC television pilot of Bosom Buddies. Portraying the character Kip Wilson, he starred alongside Peter Scolari as a pair of young advertising men who found themselves in a hilarious predicament. Forced to dress as women to live in an inexpensive all-female hotel, Hanks and Scolari brought humor and charm to their roles on the show. Having previously worked with Scolari on the 1970s game show Make Me Laugh, Hanks was excited to embark on this new television venture. Moving to Los Angeles for the role, he dove headfirst into the world of television comedy. Despite the modest ratings of Bosom Buddies, the program received high praise from television critics for its innovative concept and the chemistry between the two lead actors. Even early on in his television career, Hanks's talent and charisma were evident to those around him. Co-producer Ian Praiser, in particular, saw great potential in the young actor. Praiser famously remarked to Rolling Stone that he believed Hanks would become a movie star within just 2 years, based on his impressive performance on the set of Bosom Buddies. In 1982, Tom Hanks made a memorable guest appearance on the popular TV show Happy Days, in an episode titled A Case of Revenge. Hanks played the role of a disgruntled former classmate of Fonzie, which caught the attention of writers Lowell Gans and Babaloo Mandel. Little did Hanks know that this chance encounter would lead to a major career opportunity. Gans and Mandel were in the process of writing a romantic comedy fantasy film called Splash, which was to be directed by none other than former Happy Days star Ron Howard. Impressed by Hanks' performance on Happy Days, they suggested to Howard that he consider casting Hanks in the film. Howard initially thought of Hanks for a different role, that of the main character's wisecracking brother, but ultimately went with John Candy for that part. However, Hanks ended up landing the lead role in Splash, opposite Daryl Hannah, and the film turned out to be a surprise box office hit, grossing over $69 million. Following the success of Splash, Hanks continued to make waves in Hollywood with another hit comedy, Bachelor Party, in 1984. In addition to his film success, Hanks also made a mark on television during this time with 3 guest appearances on the popular show Family Ties. He portrayed Elise Keaton's troubled brother, Ned Donnelly. With Nothing in Common, 1986, marked a significant turning point in Tom Hanks's career, as he transitioned from predominantly comedic roles to taking on more dramatic projects. The film, which tells the story of a young man who finds himself estranged from his father, played by the legendary Jackie Gleason, challenged Hanks to delve into deeper emotional territory on screen. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Hanks reflected on how his experience working on the film shifted his perspective on the types of projects he wanted to pursue. He noted that the material of With Nothing in Common was particularly impactful, as it explored themes of family dynamics and human relationships in a way that resonated with him on a personal level. This departure from his previous comedic roles allowed Hanks to showcase his range as an actor and demonstrate his ability to tackle more complex characters. Following the release of With Nothing in Common, Hanks signed a lucrative agreement with the Walt Disney Studios, solidifying his status as a sought-after talent in Hollywood. Despite facing a few setbacks with subsequent film projects, such as box office disappointments and critical flops, Hanks eventually found success with the comedy Dragnet in 1987. This project further cemented his reputation as a versatile actor capable of delivering both comedic and dramatic performances with equal skill, ultimately propelling him to new heights of fame and recognition in the film industry. The widespread acclaim received by the fantasy comedy Big solidified Hanks' position as a prominent figure in Hollywood, showcasing his appeal both at the box office and among industry professionals as a versatile actor. Hanks' portrayal in the film earned him his initial nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor. Following Big, Hanks starred alongside Sally Field in Punchline later that year, playing struggling comedians. However, Hanks faced a series of box office disappointments with The Burbs, Joe vs. the Volcano, and The Bonfire of the Vanities. In the latter, he depicted a Wall Street tycoon entangled in a hit-and-run incident. Turner and Hooch emerged as Hanks' sole financial success during this period. Stardom. Hanks' stardom was nothing short of extraordinary. He ascended once more to the pinnacle of success with his depiction of a former baseball star turned coach in Penny Marshall's A League of Their Own, 1992. Hanks has acknowledged that his acting in earlier roles was subpar, but he has since honed his craft. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Hanks reflected on his evolution in the film industry, stating that his work has become more authentic and grounded. This transformation began in 1993 for Hanks, starting with Nora Ephron's Sleepless in Seattle, followed by Jonathan Demme's Philadelphia. The former was a romantic comedy centered around a widower who discovers love through radio waves, with Hanks sharing the screen with Meg Ryan. Richard Schickel of Time praised his performance as charming, and critics unanimously recognized Hanks as one of the leading romantic comedy actors of his era. In Philadelphia, he portrayed a homosexual lawyer suffering from AIDS who takes legal action against his employer for discrimination. Hanks underwent a significant physical transformation, shedding 35 pounds and altering his hair to convey a sickly appearance for the character. Leah Rosen, in a critique for People magazine, emphasized Hanks' exceptional performance in Philadelphia, noting that he skillfully portrayed a character rather than a flawless hero. Hanks' nuanced and emotionally charged portrayal earned him the prestigious 1993 Academy Award for Best Actor. In his acceptance speech, Hanks disclosed that his high school drama teacher, Rawley Farnsworth, and former classmate John Gilkerson, both of whom he held dear, were gay. After starring in Philadelphia, Hanks went on to act in Forrest Gump, directed by Robert Zemeckis in 1994, which made over $600 million worldwide. In an interview, Hanks mentioned how he saw Forrest Gump as a movie that could bring hope to the audience and make them feel optimistic about their lives. He drew inspiration from similar movies he watched as a child. Winning his second Best Actor Academy Award for his role in Forrest Gump, Hanks joined the ranks of Spencer Tracy as the only actor to achieve back-to-back wins in the category. Tracy had won his Oscars for Captains Courageous and Boys Town in consecutive years during the late 1930s. It is interesting to note that Hanks and Tracy were the same age when they received their awards. They were both 37 when they won their first award and 38 when they won their second. Hanks teamed up with Ron Howard once again for the role of astronaut Jim Lovell in the acclaimed film Apollo 13, 1995. The critics gave praise to both the film and the performances of the entire cast, which also featured Kevin Bacon, Bill Paxton, Gary Sinise, Ed Harris, and Kathleen Quinlan. The movie received 9 Academy Award nominations and won 2. Hanks also lent his voice to the character Sheriff Woody in Pixar's Toy Story, 1995. Hanks ventured into directing for the first time with the film That Thing You Do, 1996, which follows a 1960s music group and features Hanks in the role of a music producer. He then collaborated with producer Gary Gertzman to establish Playtone, a production company for both music and film that takes inspiration from a record label in the movie. Hanks took on the role of executive producer, co-writer and co-director for the HBO docudrama From the Earth to the Moon in 1998. This 12-part series delved into the history of the space program, covering everything from its beginnings to the well-known missions of Neil Armstrong and Jim Lovell, as well as exploring the emotional impact of the moon landings. This Emmy Award-winning project, costing $68 million, which would be equivalent to $127 million in today's currency, was one of the most costly television undertakings at the time. His following project was equally as costly. Collaborating with Steven Spielberg on Saving Private Ryan, 1998, they crafted a film depicting a quest through post-D-Day France to rescue a soldier. The movie garnered admiration and esteem from the film industry, critics, and the general public, being hailed as one of the greatest war films ever produced. Spielberg earned his second Academy Award for direction for the film, while Hanks received another Best Actor nomination. Later that same year, Hanks joined forces again with Efron and Ryan for You've Got Mail, a modern adaptation of Ernst Lubitsch's The Shop Around the Corner. He also took on a role in Frank Darabont's The Green Mile, adapted from Stephen King's novel of the same title. Additionally, he returned as the voice of Woody in Toy Story 2. Hanks collaborated with Zemeckis once again in the film Cast Away, portraying a stranded FedEx Systems analyst. According to Roger Ebert from the Chicago Sun-Times, Hanks showcases his acting skills effortlessly, capturing the audience's sympathy through his expressions and body language in the unconventional scenario. Following this, Hanks took on the lead role in The Da Vinci Code, which achieved a global box office success of over $750 million. In 2006, Hanks was ranked at the top of a list of most trusted celebrities by Forbes magazine out of 1,500 personalities. He also was involved in producing the animated film The Ant Bully and Starter for 10, a humorous story about working-class students competing in a university challenge. However, despite his fame and successes, Hanks faced a devastating tragedy in his personal life. Hanks tied the knot with American actress Samantha Lewis in 1978. They welcomed a son named Colin in 1977 and a daughter named Elizabeth in 1982. However, their marriage came to an end in 1987. Unfortunately, Lewis passed away in 2002 at the age of 49 after battling bone cancer. Despite the challenges he faced, Hanks remains committed to attending church. He reflects on the mysteries of life and questions why good and bad things happen to people. In his opinion, this mystery is the key to understanding humanity as a whole. In 1981, Tom Hanks crossed paths with actress Rita Wilson while working on the TV show Bosom Buddies. They crossed paths again in 1985 while filming Volunteers. Wilson, who has Greek and Bulgarian roots, follows the Greek Orthodox Church. Hanks embraced her beliefs before they tied the knot in 1988. The couple has 2 sons. The older one, Chet, tried his hand at rap music in 2011 and found success with roles in Empire and Shameless. Their younger son, Truman, was born in 1995 and even portrayed a younger version of his father's character in A Man Called Otto in 2022. Hanks, along with his family, resides in Los Angeles, California and Ketchum, Idaho. In October 2013, Hanks revealed that he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Despite previously supporting Oakland Athletics and Raiders, Hanks announced in April 2017 that he would boycott the NFL for 2 years due to the Raiders relocating to Las Vegas. Since 1984, Hanks has been a dedicated supporter of Aston Villa, an English Premier League team. Before the release of the film A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood in November 2019, Tom Hanks discovered through Ancestry.com that he and Fred Rogers were distant relatives. Both men are descendants of Johannes Meffert, a German immigrant who settled in Kentucky in the 18th century. Additionally, Hanks is also related to Abraham Lincoln, as he narrated a television program about the 16th US president in 2011. On December 27, 2019, the president of Greece, Prokopis Pavlopoulos, granted honorary citizenship to Hanks and his family, recognizing their outstanding contributions to Greece. This act officially made Hanks and his immediate family Greek nationals. Hanks, Wilson, and their children were bestowed with this honor in acknowledgement of their efforts to raise awareness and support for the victims of a devastating wildfire in the village of Mati, near Athens in July 2018, where over 100 people lost their lives. Greece's Interior Minister, Takis Theodorakakos, praised Hanks for his genuine concern for the fire victims in Mati and for bringing international attention to the issue. On July 26, 2020, the Prime Minister of Greece, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, along with his wife, personally presented Greek passports to Hanks and Wilson as a symbol of their new citizenship status. But apart from humanitarian endeavors, Hanks has an interest in a course most celebrities won't be interested in. An interest in space. Hanks, an advocate for NASA's manned space missions, expressed his childhood dream of becoming an astronaut. He is affiliated with the National Space Society and holds a position on the governing body of the non-profit organization established by Wernher von Braun. Hanks was involved in creating the HBO miniseries From the Earth to the Moon, which chronicled the Apollo program's endeavor to reach the moon. Additionally, he collaborated on the production of Magnificent Desolation, Walking on the Moon 3D, an IMAX film showcasing the moon landing. Hanks lent his voice to the premiere of Passport to the Universe at the Rose Center for Earth and Space in the Hayden Planetarium at the American Museum of Natural History in New York. Hanks received the Douglas S. Morrow Public Outreach Award from the Space Foundation in 2006, which is given each year to someone who has greatly impacted public knowledge of space programs. In June 2006, Hanks was honored as a member of the United States Army Rangers Hall of Fame for his portrayal of a captain in the film Saving Private Ryan. Hanks, who could not attend the ceremony, was the first actor to receive this recognition. Apart from his role in Saving Private Ryan, Hanks was recognized for his work as the national spokesperson for the World War II Memorial Campaign, his involvement as the honorary chairperson of the D-Day Museum Capital Campaign, and his contribution to writing and producing the Emmy Award-winning miniseries Band of Brothers. On March 10, 2008, Hanks was present at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony to induct the Dave Clark Five. Hanks has a passion for collecting vintage typewriters and incorporates them into his daily routine. In August 2014, Hanks introduced Hanks Writer, an iOS application designed to replicate the nostalgia of typing on a typewriter. The app quickly rose to the top spot on the App Store. Following his battle with and recuperation from a COVID-19 infection at the start of the pandemic, Hanks and his spouse generously donated their blood antibodies for scientific research on the virus. Hanks is also a licensed minister, and CBS News announced on March 24, 2022, that he recently presided over a wedding in Pittsburgh. Hanks in the world of politics. During the 2008 election, Hanks supported Barack Obama by sharing a video on his social media account. In 2012, he lent his voice to a documentary created by Obama's campaign. 4 years later, Hanks backed Hillary Clinton for president and has also donated to various Democratic politicians. Hanks openly criticized the 2008 Proposition 8 in California, which aimed to limit marriage to only between a man and a woman. He and fellow activists managed to raise more than $44 million to challenge the proposition. During the debut of a television show in January 2009, Hanks labeled Proposition 8 supporters as unpatriotic and condemned LDS church members for their stance on marriage and involvement in the proposition. However, he later retracted his statement and stated that there is nothing more American than voting based on personal beliefs. Hanks, who supports environmentalism, has invested in electric vehicles and currently owns a Toyota RAV4 EV and the first production AC propulsion e-box. Before this, he rented an EV1 before it was taken back, a story captured in the film Who Killed the Electric Car. Additionally, he is eagerly anticipating the release of an Aptera 2 series vehicle. Hanks is the campaign chair for the Hidden Heroes campaign, organized by the Elizabeth Dole Foundation. The goal of the campaign is to encourage a widespread movement that provides better support for military and veteran caregivers. During a visit to the White House in 2004, Hanks discovered that the press corps lacked a coffee pot, so he decided to gift them an espresso machine. This act of generosity was repeated in both 2010 and 2017. The most recent donation in 2017 was paired with a message encouraging the press to continue their pursuit of truth, justice, and the American way. Additionally, Hanks publicly supported former Vice President Joe Biden in the 2020 presidential election, but for the current presidential election, the tide seems to have turned, and his view on Mr. Trump will shock you. Tom Hanks' view on the 2024 election. Tom Hanks, attending a D-Day commemoration event, addressed concerns about a potential Donald Trump victory in the upcoming November elections without directly naming the former president. When asked by CNN's Christiane Amanpour about his worries regarding the United States' commitment to democracy and freedom if Trump were to win, Hanks shared his thoughts on the broader implications. In response to Amanpour's question, Hanks acknowledged that there are always short-term concerns, but emphasized the importance of focusing on the long-term historical perspective. He noted that the preamble of the Constitution, which begins with, "We the people of the United States, to form a more perfect union," underscores the ongoing effort to improve and uphold democratic values. A history enthusiast who describes himself as a lay historian, Hanks pointed out that achieving a more perfect union is not about following divisive narratives of right and wrong or victimhood. Instead, it is about the gradual alignment of truth with the practical realities of everyday life. He stressed that the essence of democracy is reflected in the good deeds practiced within local communities, among neighbors and local merchants. Hanks, who had previously described Trump's 2016 presidential win as a dark day, but later assured Americans that the country would be all right, reiterated his belief in the resilience of American democracy. He expressed confidence that the United States and other Western democracies, which share similar democratic values, would continue to strive towards what is right, driven by the actions and integrity of their citizens. He seems to support the former president without directly mentioning his name. Well, that was wise. Hanks' legacy. Hanks is commonly likened to James Stewart and has been affectionately called America's father. During his time starring in Nora Ephron's Lucky Guy on Broadway in 2013, he attracted 300 fans eagerly awaiting a sighting of him after each performance, setting a record for post-show fan presence on Broadway. Hanks has achieved the impressive title of the 5th top-grossing star in North America, earning over $4.9 billion in total at the North American box office, averaging $100.8 million per film. His worldwide box office total exceeds $9.96 billion. There is even an asteroid named after him, known as asteroid 2018 Tom Hanks. In 2003, Channel 4 ranked Hanks as the 3rd greatest movie star of all time, while VH1 placed him at number 22 on its list of the top 200 pop culture icons. He was also named one of the most influential celebrities by Forbes in 2000, 2002, and 2003. On May 8, 2016, Hanks appeared as a special guest on the BBC Radio 4 show Desert Island Discs. He selected Richard Strauss's Also Sprach Zarathustra, performed by the Vienna Philharmonic, as his top song, A World Lit Only by Fire by William Manchester as his favorite book, and a Hermes 3000 typewriter and paper as his luxury item. Hanks appeared on YYFM with Terry Gross multiple times for interviews on the radio show Fresh Air in Philadelphia. The discussions covered his starring role in Captain Phillips, a film based on the true events of a ship captain being taken hostage by Somali pirates. Additionally, Hanks talked about his involvement as the executive producer of the 12-part miniseries From Earth to the Moon, which received 17 Emmy Award nominations. The final interview segment featured Hanks sharing stories about his experiences in the acting industry. So what do you think of his take on the next election? Please leave a comment below.